We are back.
We're back. We have I'm Tony with Harper Therapy.
And I am Alejandra. I almost don't say my name.
She forgets her name sometimes. It happens. So we're here this week. We're continuing down for the month of January, talking about relationships and talking about the love or the misunderstanding of love. And you said something great in this week's blog where you talked about that the mismatch that happens in your brain when someone you love hurts you, and almost thinking like that's not love, but that mismatch happens in your head that then you think, well, but they love me so much they wouldn't hurt me, like, but they are.
You get so confused because how is this person that giving me so much love that I think is loving me cause me all this pain, and then the mismatch happens because then your brain starts getting used to, oh, then pain means love, I guess. You start accepting it more because it's this misunderstanding, but it can be solved. There's hope for that. Right.
Yes, there is hope. You can get out of it and you can find a healthy relationship. And there is possibility that through therapy and good communication with your significant other, that depending on what the pain they're inflicting is, it can be discussed and it can be like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing that. The other person has to be ready for that change too, but you can also walk away from a relationship that is hurting you. And that's a romantic relationship, a friendship, even your parents can.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that's a really hard one.
Because they've been doing it their whole life, right?
Mm-hmm. And they don't even realize how much they're hurting you, but that is a relationship that you get to put boundaries around and to say.
Yeah. And walking away a lot of the times can be literally walking away, like, kind of not dealing with that person anymore. But if it's something like your parents that you're like, I can't, walking away just means putting strong boundaries, like so firm. And when I refer boundaries, it's like something that allows you to say, I'm not gonna let this in. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna still feel good about myself. I'm not gonna take their BS. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something else bad.
You can't do that. Yeah, I know, it's very hard for me.
I'm gonna take their BS. And it's just walking away from like that cycle and staying with them.
Well, and that's, Yolanda has taught us about boundaries where, like, almost, I like to call it like a buffet, where you take what you want and leave what you don't, but you can hold what they say and be like, okay, is this something that is useful to me? Does this cause me pain? Then no, I don't need it. Or can you turn it and be like, okay, I could use this to be a better person, so I will hold on to it. Right. And you get to choose that.
And a lot of people say, but how can I hold that? Before that step, then you need to work in what we call self-compassion and empowerment. Self-compassion is being able to give you grace and permission to have those thoughts. It's okay for me to not let them hurt me. Right. It's okay for me to say no, right? It's okay for me to not give them everything they want. It's okay for me to take care of myself without being selfish. Like, self-compassion is being able to have boundaries but hold yourself in high regard. Because a lot of people shame themselves. Oh, maybe I shouldn't leave them. That's going to be horrible. What are people going to say? Mm-hmm. But if I'm taking time for myself, that's going to be so selfish.
But understanding that that's okay. Having that compassion and understanding that it's hard. It's so hard to walk away from these situations. And the negative thoughts that that person has probably pushed into your brain that you have reiterated to yourself for however long, and then the perception of others, and having that compassion that it's okay. And it might not be pretty, and you maybe when you move out, you have to move into you're leaving a big beautiful mansion home and moving into a studio apartment that is not in the best side of town. That's okay. Have compassion for that and the steps that you took to get there.
It's gonna be messy, but just because it's messy doesn't mean it's not gonna be good for you. The situations you were in before look good for you, but they were actually very messy and very terrifying. Yeah, something may look messy, but it doesn't mean. And that's when self-compassion comes. And the more compassion you have for yourself that it's okay to feel this way, you're going to feel empowered. And then you're going to start taking steps that are going to make you feel better and be more strong with boundaries. Mm-hmm. And that's when you can hold that thing and be like, am I going to let it in?
Right. Then you can take that step of, okay, what part of this buffet do I want? Can I handle some of this?
Because when you have the self-compassion and empowerment, you can make that decision without doubting yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it takes time to get there. There's a lot of other steps before you get to where you can give yourself compassion. And I think sometimes it's when you've been beating yourself up for so long, self-compassion is one of the hardest steps, because if no one has shown you compassion before and you're the first to see it, like for yourself, that's difficult.
Being nice with yourself is really hard when no one else has it. You feel like at the beginning it feels wrong, like I can't tell me it's okay, but it gets better. Like there is hope, and hope is bigger than fear.
Oh, I love it. So if you're ready to turn your fear into hope, and you want to make some changes, and maybe you just want to chat with somebody and see if what your gut is pulling you towards is okay, give us a call at Harper Therapy, 813-434-3639. Have a great day.